has you covered. Start your day with the first word. Cincinnati's only morning sports show. Power through midday with the working lunch. Cincinnati business talk that keeps you in the know. Nat tries that for lifestyle around the city. And the Rebound Rundown covers every corner of the college basketball scene in the tri-state and beyond. This is The Crown. Built for Cincinnati. First word for your morning sports. The working lunch for business that hits home. Nat tries that for lifestyle around the city. And Rebound Rundown for college hoops. This city deserves its crown. Watch, listen, subscribe.
This is Betty.
It is midday in the Queen City. Business is booming. We are talking tennis today as the Cincinnati Open opens this weekend. Let's do lunch. Cincinnati is a city that means business. Fortune 500 company HQs, renowned institutions like Children's Hospital and the Cincinnati Zoo, and letters that everyone here knows: TQL, GE, CVG, UC, and X. It's also a city that's large enough for new ideas to take root and grow. You know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, and you're in business. I'm Jack Crumley, and this is The Working Lunch. Hello, welcome to The Working Lunch. I'm Jack Crumley. This is our hour-long business show here on The Crown, where we bring you headlines on various company and business activities all around the Cincinnati area. We bring you exclusive interviews with CEOs and local leaders, and we try to squeeze in a bite to eat, maybe something to drink before you go back to face the afternoon. Big Monday show is ahead. Glad to have you with us today. Going our Cincinnati business headlines, presented by First State Bank, built on belief and committed to doing right by our communities. First State Bank offers checking, savings, and mortgage services from all your phones. They believe in this community, and they believe in you. Visit FSB4me.com. That's First State Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. A new international partnership is being announced. You know, I was actually talking with some people just over the weekend about airline flights here in this area. People saying how great it used to be when CVG was a Delta hub. But then at some point the conversation did start to get into all the work that's been done at CVG over the last decade or so that has improved things quite a bit. We spoke here about all the cargo flights that have been added, and that helps lower all kinds of costs at our international airport. And now, speaking of international, CVG has signed a deal with the German Airport Technology and Equipment, or GATE Alliance, to advance technology and international business interests. CVG's CEO says this creates a new transatlantic pathway for collaboration, a formal innovation partnership so that the German alliance can test out new technology and explore new markets here and in Germany. We should learn more details about this partnership as the months go on. Staying in northern Kentucky, Newport City Manager John Hayden was here on the show on Friday talking about all the different development plans in the works for his city. And now the Business Courier has details about an $80 million development you can see right there coming to Bellevue that is now going to be getting TIF funding. It's getting that funding just before the state pretty much bans that type of financing. That development there is called Harbor Green. It'll be a mixed-use development slated for Fairfield Avenue that'll build nearly 200 apartments in Bellevue, along with a hotel, a restaurant, a retail, and a parking garage. Money from the tax increment financing, the TIF, going to go toward that parking garage specifically, but that could be kind of it, as Kentucky state lawmakers passed bills this past session to do away with state TIF programs. Those lawmakers say that there have been concerns about accountability in the millions of public dollars that go toward certain projects and whether or not those projects are worth what they cost. It's actually not too different from Westchester's recent announcement about the Voices of America Music Festival, saying the juice there just isn't worth the squeeze. But either way, this development in Bellevue got in just under the wire. Construction is expected to start this year. We are getting an idea about money from a big visitation that has been going on. If you have been anywhere near downtown or over the Rhine the last few days, you've probably seen their purple shirts. Cincinnati is in the midst of a major event that is just now wrapping up today. Tens of thousands of members of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, along with their families and other travelers and friends, have been holding their 85th Grand Conclave here. It is the largest in that fraternity's history. This many people visiting Cincinnati all at once is expected to generate some $13 million of economic impact in the area, though we are still awaiting final numbers on that. Attendees for this conclave are staying at about 24 hotel rooms all around the city. It's a big reason why local leaders wanted to get the convention center renovated and upgraded to be able to handle events like this. And you can believe when the convention center hotel is built, even more will be coming here. And we are closing out the headlines portion with a little bit of good news and a programming note. Foreverland Farm is an animal sanctuary in Brown County that's been having some financial problems lately. We know about the challenges that nonprofits face on a nearly daily basis. When it comes to caring for animals, things like the cost of feed is a constant demand. Foreverland Farm takes care of animals with disabilities, so that likely adds to the cost of all things. In a post on Facebook just yesterday, Foreverland Farm Executive Director Brittany Kane announced that a fundraiser that's been going on for the last month with a goal of raising $10,000 in order to get a matching $10K grant was a big success. And now they're looking to find sustainable funding with a new program called 50K for Forever, asking people to join their Patreon for just $1 per month in order to keep things going and get them room to grow and keep rescuing animals. Now, coincidentally, our very own Natalie Jones was just at Foreverland Farm to shoot a Nat Tries That episode, and we here at the Working Lunch are happy to give you a teaser for that. Take a look.
This is Betty. Betty's a potbelly pig. She was rescued after being abandoned. She's not friendly.
Not friendly.
She'll look friendly, but she will try to bite. She's a little sassy. That's why she has that sign that says, "It's a beautiful day to leave me alone."
Sassy sass, baby. Look at her like, what? Who did you wrong? What was his name?
I think just because she was abandoned. I don't know if she like... See? I told you.
Yeah, that was really scary. Human arrogance. I was like, I'll pet her. It'll be nice. I just thought like maybe it won't happen today. I was wrong. That was really scary.
That's so good. I've watched that like 4 times so far today. That episode is coming out soon. We'll let you know about that. You can visit patreon.com/foreverlandfarm to support that nonprofit. And now time for Jack's Big Bite. That's where we focus on one particular story happening in our community, a community we believe in with our partners at First State Bank. Stop into one of their local branches or visit online at fsb4me.com to access all the helpful tools and services at First State Bank, built on belief and committed to doing right by our communities. For today's Big Bite, presented by First State Bank, we are talking about the Cincinnati Open, which kicks off this Saturday. The president of BMOC Sports and Entertainment, Bob Moran, is my guest today. And even though last year was the big unveiling of $260 million worth of upgrades, the 2026 Open has developed some new ways for fans to experience the tournament.
Just about 24 hours away from the first serve at the 2025 Cincinnati Open.
A major pro tennis tournament is about to get underway in Mason. World-class players will be welcomed with a brand new tennis venue.
Cincinnati Open is returning to the Queen City.
There's some big names coming back for the first time since Wimbledon. Of course, this is the last chance for a lot of players to get form before the US Open.
Cincinnati Open is back after 11 months of renovation.
We welcome you to the Crown Jewel event of Ohio. The greatest players from across the globe and thousands of fans have been arriving during the last few days. You can feel the energy in this place. Something special is happening here in Cincinnati. It's not very often you get this close to the #1 athletes in the world. The atmosphere here is absolutely unmatched. The people here have such a passion and love for this game.
Right now, my goal is just keep doing the right things. I'm really happy with everything I'm doing, and I'm gonna try to keep it, in the same way.
Yeah, it has been an incredible journey for me. We are here in Cincinnati. We try to get ready. Here the conditions are very, very tough to play for us players. Here in New York is going to be very important for me, and hopefully it's going to be a good U.S. win.
The schedule is crazy, honestly. The season's been really intense, and it's impossible to be on your best level every day, every week. There is a lot of pressure outside of tennis court on us.
For me, it's easy, this being one of my favorite tournaments, one of the biggest tournaments of the year for me, and the tournament that I had a big breakout result at. This tournament will always be somewhere that I love playing, I love the fans.
So
The Cincinnati Open at the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason generates $150 million in economic impact. That is nearly double the economic impact of previous years, all because the Cincinnati Open had a big expansion from 8 to now 14 days of tennis-related programming, live music, and more. The Cincinnati Open announced just last year that it's got multi-year contract renewals with half a dozen of its cornerstone partners: Credit One Bank, Fifth Third Bank, Great American Insurance, Kroger, P&G, and Western and Southern. Those sponsors all get naming rights to individual days, along with tailored benefits like the Credit One Bank Concierge Desk. Western and Southern sponsoring the Victory Balls. Kroger has a signature dessert being served, a Fifth Third lounge, and more. Big money and a big expansion for a big tournament that's got momentum here. A dozen new sponsor partners have been announced for this year's tournament. Joining those cornerstone sponsors this year are companies, some of them local, like Rheingeist, one of the biggest beer brewers here in town, along with New Balance shoes, a drink from Fresca called Fresca Hard, Talenti Gelato, and Kim Crawford Wine out of New Zealand. The Cincinnati Open calls this year's list of the event's deepest and most prestigious partner roster in its history. That's a quote. All these brands have seen the crowds that this event draws, and they're also extremely aware of all the work that's been done to grow this tournament locally. It's been going since 1899. You remember the Cincinnati history pieces that we have done on this show so far, and what a time of tremendous change the late 1800s meant for this area. So many things were built then that have become staples here now. The Cincinnati Open Sporting Club, take a look at this, cut the ribbon to the public just this past March.
I've been joking with a couple players here over the last couple days that they're going to get lost when they come outside. I guarantee that happens. We've been doing a lot of tours lately where people who've been coming here for 20, 30 years are completely blown away with what this facility is and what it could be. Huh? I want my credential on.
Great to see you, man.
Good to see you.
This is insane.
Is it? That's what I like. Insane is a good word. When'd you get in?
Last night.
Last night?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
You believe we did this in 11 months?
It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's fun.
The Euros are gonna have to level up.
We want that too, right?
I mean, geez.
Yeah.
It's gonna like completely shift. Otherwise, guys are gonna get to like Rome and Madrid and be like, oh my God, I can't go walk in here.
Well, this is your player dining space, gang. Have you already been in here to eat yet?
I've not.
So what we didn't have permanent kitchens in the old place, so we'd have to bring all those temporary facilities in. So the thing we were able to do here is build 3 permanent kitchens, one to service just this world, which this is our largest kitchen because you guys eat a lot. Yeah, but everything is made to go right here. Really simple, really easy. Look at that pizza oven.
The Cincinnati Open Sporting Club brings together racket sports, golf, dining, and, as you can see there, event space. Part of that $250 million transformation that took hold last year, the Sporting Club, again, really just cut the ribbon back in March. It's a major new investment for this year, housed mainly in the new 56,000 square foot clubhouse, the 53,000 square foot indoor tennis center. It includes access to 31 outdoor tennis courts, 6 indoor tennis courts, 6 outdoor pickleball courts, a pair of padel courts, the first in Ohio. During the Cincinnati Open, this is going to serve as the new Kroger Indoor Fan Zone for live Q&As with players and special guests, musical acts, and draw ceremonies, including the men's and women's singles. The space also houses a racket stringing viewing area sponsored by Wilson, a gaming lounge, and an indoor court hosting practices, demonstrations, clinics, and other programming. A lot going on just in that one space as a part of the overall tennis center. Before the first official match is played, fans can enjoy Community Weekend. That's this Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday, August 8th, is going to be Kids Day with on-court experiences and family-friendly activities, followed by Red Bull Baseline, a tie-break knockout exhibition on Grandstand Court, set to the beat of an on-court DJ. And then Sunday, August 9th, is All Access Sunday with the inaugural Cincinnati Open 5K Fun Run all across the new 40-acre campus for runners of all levels and ages. It ends with a post-race concert and party. All Access Sunday is also when you'll find player appearances and autograph sessions. There's also a wheelchair tennis tournament, adaptive tennis clinics, and more. There's a lot going on for this event. Throughout the weekend, open player practices give fans an up-close look at the world's top players. This is the tennis event. So much of the Cincinnati Open has been expanded to elevate the fan experience specifically, and that kind of work and investment is for the Cincinnati area. It's really extraordinary. That's your Big Bite. We are going to be finding out more about all this coming up with BMOC Sports and Entertainment President Bob Moran. He's my guest. Next, you are watching The Working Lunch on The Crown. Stick around.
Our beliefs matter. They're reflected in our words and actions. At First State Bank, we believe in treating people well, and have since 1884. Listening, caring, looking out for each other. It's what people deserve. It's what a real local bank does. While lots of things have changed over the years, our belief in you hasn't. First State Bank, built on belief.
My name is Jack Crumley. I've been covering news in Cincinnati on the radio for the last 20 years. I grew up in Northeast Ohio, but Cincinnati has always felt like home since day one. I've seen so many things accomplished here, and now, with The Working Lunch, I get to write, read, and talk about them every day. Hard-working people with a drive and a dream. Innovative ideas that help shape this city. Cincinnati is a great city, and I'm excited to tell you about it every day. Welcome back to the Working Lunch. I'm Jack Crumley, and I am joined now by Bob Moran, the president of BMOC Sports and Entertainment, the organization that puts on the Cincinnati Open that we have here every year. Bob, thanks very much for coming on the show. You're a busy guy.
Well, right now we are, but thanks, Jack. I love the new digs here. This is great.
Me too. This is a very cool room to be in. And speaking of very cool things, I can't believe we get to break some news here about the Open. You guys just broke some news in the last 15 minutes or so?
Yes, we did.
New information about the Open this weekend.
I did this for you.
I am touched beyond words, Bob. Please, what's the big news?
We announced all of our women's wild cards, not all of them, but the majority of our women's wild cards for the tournament. But at the same time, we announced a doubles wild card for Serena and Venus Williams.
That is crazy.
Yes, it is.
And that's coming off of the big news about how Novak Djokovic was coming back for this year's tournament.
Exactly right. That was great to hear from Novak because Novak's point in his career, he doesn't have to play.
Yeah.
The fact that he wanted to come to Cincinnati and reached out to us, we were just thrilled for that.
Now help me out. Is him coming back this year? Is that the first time that he's back since that big tournament from before?
Yeah, he hasn't seen the new renovation, so I'm really excited for him to see all the new properties, everything we did for the players. It's going to be exciting for him because he just hasn't seen the change.
And this is a historical spot for him.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's really exciting.
His last 2 times here, I believe he's won. So
well, it's time to keep that streak going.
Keep the streak going.
Well, and congratulations again about the Williams sisters coming in. That's huge news. That's one more reason, in case people haven't heard all the different reasons like we just went through on the show. One more reason to come to the Open this weekend.
Absolutely. I mean, and I've had the pleasure. I've been in women's tennis for 26 years, so I've had the pleasure of getting to know Venus and Serena as they've grown up in the sport from the very beginning. So they've transformed women's tennis and they transcend the sport itself. They not only affect young female tennis players, but they affect young women as a whole. So we're really proud that they have chosen to come back and play doubles in Cincinnati.
I'm truly like 2 of the biggest athlete period in the world.
Absolutely.
Coming for that. That's amazing. Okay, so you had enough time to come in to be on the show today, and we are grateful about that. Things kick off this Saturday for the 2026 Cincinnati Open. You guys excited? Everything's in place? You're just sort of waiting for everybody to show up, yeah?
Yeah, well, our whole goal is to be set up right now to accept all of our partners, right? So we have partners on the sponsorship side that have to come in and set up. We also have our television partners that's a huge undertaking. We have over 175 countries that take in our broadcast. That's a big deal that people don't talk enough about. And then we have the Tennis Channel coming in. That's our domestic broadcasts. And so there's a lot of equipment, a lot of machinery, a lot of everything that comes in. So our job is to be prepared to accept all of it. And so we're in a really good place. This weekend was a great weekend for us to finalize everything and just be able to accept everything. So by the 8th, when we open our doors, we can accept the fans.
What is it like to be opening up this year, to be on the verge of opening up this year, knowing that last year was sort of the big rollout, $260 million worth of improvements to the Lindner Center for the Open, year-round programming going on there. You're opening now a year out from that, but there's still some new stuff. We talked about that indoor sports club. That's a huge deal that had a ribbon cutting earlier this year. What's it like for you with still new stuff to roll out on top of all the big transformative stuff from last year?
Yeah, last year at this time, we were scrambling to finish. I mean, a lot of people didn't think we were going to be done.
You did that in 11 months.
Yeah, a young man who works for us, Jansen Dell, our COO, he spearheaded that whole project. He got it done, he did it, and couldn't have been more proud of him, but also proud of the team to be ready. But for us, this year we're grabbing a weekend. Last year we couldn't grab this opening weekend. We technically don't start until Tuesday.
Right.
But I've been hearing from players over the last 2 days who are on their way. They'll be here the next couple of days. They want a place to practice. People love to watch practice, so we said, why not just be open and create something that's accessible for everybody? So this community weekend is Family Day on Saturday, which is just really trying to create as many opportunities for kids and families to enjoy themselves, get a racket in kids' hands, and provide opportunities for them to watch and see and interact with players. And then Saturday night, we're doing it's called Red Bull Baseline. For all the young generation out there, Toke Monsta is a world-renowned DJ who's going to be spinning some tunes, light show. It's going to be a just completely different point of view. So that's Saturday night. And then Sunday we come back and it's All Access Sunday. So just giving fans the opportunity to be up close and personal with the players, We have a life-size replica of the tournament trophy that we're going to put on Stadium Court, well, where people can come out and get their pictures taken on Stadium Court. It's like cool. It's hallowed ground, and we don't let people out there enough. And so this is an opportunity to do that. So really just grabbing hold of that opening weekend and making it accessible for our local community, which we're really proud of and really excited about. We already know we have 1,500 kids coming out on Saturday.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And that's the kids that are going to be into tennis or maybe learn how to be into tennis.
That's what we hope for. Absolutely.
Bob, everything you just described really is like sort of, it fits into this theme of a really fan-forward kind of experience that I think seems like it was a big part of that transformation that you guys did, $260 million to really expand that campus. I assume that's a conscious decision to do a lot of things that put the fans either in the middle of the action or give them access to maybe more than they would have expected.
No, absolutely. I mean, our goal was to create something. You know, we went from a 56 draw to a 96 draw. So that means when you think about the amount of players, so it's roughly 150 players between the main draw singles, qualies, and then doubles. It's about 150 players. On top of that, they all have about a +3, which is their coach or their physio or their nutritionist. So we're responsible for them. We're responsible for feeding them, transporting them, and housing them, which is great for the local economy because we're housing all of them. I think the amount of hotel rooms that are on my budget it's an enormous number, let alone 300,000 fans that'll be coming from all over the world. It is a huge economic impact, but for us, our step one was create that experience for players that we could handle the larger draw. And now it's about creating that fan experience. Cincinnati's got a long history of being a really up-close, personal, intimate experience for fans. We just wanted to enhance that. How do we just continue to do it and just maybe do it at a little bit better level? So what Cincinnati Open was to what it is just getting better.
Yeah, and it seems as though that's based on a philosophy of patient investment. I think that there have been some opportunities to rush along with stuff. I mean, you guys just did a major transformative renovation. You would have had every right in the world to really raise prices, naming rights being sold for sponsorship stuff. But I think it feels like you guys are really trying to do a patient, let's let this thing grow. We really want to entice people to come along. And I think that's buoyed by this whole new slew of sponsorships that you guys recently rattled off with Rheingeist and New Balance, and not to mention all the Cornerstone partners that are in for their theme days for years now.
Yeah, I think you've kind of folded a couple things into that. Number one, I want to be real clear on that. Having our partners with Kroger, Great American, Western and Southern, Fifth Third, Credit One, all of our Cornerstone partners, Western and Southern, took a step back from being title. Right? And that was John Barrett leading the way and welcoming all the other partners. We will be the Cincinnati Open as long as our partners want to support that. I don't want to become something different. I think this is the Cincinnati Open. It's important for us to be the Cincinnati Open. As long as we have our partnerships within this market, we're going to continue that. And I think I want to make sure that this community knows. There's a lot of people who thought we would go out and sell naming rights for a big number and change it. We love being the Cincinnati Open. As long as the economics continue to make sense, we're going to continue that. And then the other piece was thoughtful transformation. Last year was the hottest Cincinnati Open in the history of the tournament, and we heard that from our fans. Yeah. Last year we built the indoor courts, but they weren't quite ready to show off. We used it for some back of house. And this year, when fans come through, they will be blown away by what we've created in the indoor courts. The Kroger Fan Zone is absolutely amazing. It has I think you talked a little bit about it in your opening. It has a court, it has a stage. We'll have live music, interviews. We are going to do so many things in there. Wilson, they're stringing. The fans can see stringing. It's behind glass. They can see what it's like when a player needs to have their rackets restrung. I know that sounds small, but it's a pretty cool thing to watch and see. But that zone right there, air-conditioned, place where you can go get away from the heat, is going to be something that people, as equal as the players were surprised to see the transformation last year, when our fans see that transformation of the Kroger Fan Zone, they will be blown away.
Yeah, well, and that also figures into sort of the plans for year-long programming all around that area. You don't need to worry about it just being nice weather. There's plenty of stuff you can have programming-wise inside. Absolutely.
It's about, growing the game of tennis. We need that year-round experience. And so we have over 250 juniors in our program in year one. The Cincinnati Tennis Foundation is our partner. They do a great job. I did give a qualifying wild card to a young man from Mason who trained under the Cincinnati Tennis Foundation, then went to Yale, was all Ivy League. He is now on the professional circuit trying to make his way. And he came up and talked to us and said, would love to someday play in this tournament. We're like, why not now?
How about now?
Why not now? So, local fans want to watch Vignesh come out and play. They should watch this young man play. And then J.J. Wolf is another local favorite who is coming back from injury, grew up here. And then on the women's side, we have Katie McNally and Peyton Stearns, who grew up playing tennis here. Why? They saw professional tennis, and they aspired to be something special.
What is that like for you in terms of, with all the different things that you need to juggle and wanting to attract big names to come to this? We've got Novak, we've got Venus, we've got Serena all coming this year, but then also balancing that out with local talent. So that can also not necessarily just drive ticket sales, but let people know that there's an actual investment going on here and that it's not just a come in, show off, and then leave.
Yeah, we're here year round. There's tennis programming, pickleball programming, padel programming going on all year. You also see that we're doing basketball on center court. We're not going to sit back and just, we'll see you next year. That's not who we are. We're going to bring different opportunities. Basketball is that kind of that thing that we are showcasing that get people excited about it.
Yeah, got some images there from the Open. The big revamp last year, but still some new stuff that's being shown off. And, you talked about being able to do all these things and attract people. You're giving them a reason to come. It's not like you're just saying, well, we need you guys to come now and buy tickets to the thing because we just spent a bunch of money to make it nice, but you're giving people a bunch of new reasons to come out, too.
Yeah, and the fans in the Cincinnati area and to be quite honest, the middle part of this country show up every year in and year out for this event. And it was a big reason we stayed. The fandom here in Cincinnati and the greater Cincinnati area and in the Midwest, we're it for tennis.
Yeah.
So we've got to put on the best product we can and people will come. And we've seen it.
Do you still find people being surprised at the idea that a major world-class tennis tournament that's been going for more than 100 years is in the Cincinnati area? Is that something that people still have a hard time getting used to?
Yeah, and I got to get people quit calling it the ATP and call it the Cincinnati Open. That's what I got to fight. But no, it's great. I think people were surprised. And, when you see Yannick Sinner and Serena and Sabalenka and all the greatest players in the world. And we're in really good company when you talk about the Masters 1000s. You have the Grand Slams, and then the next level of tournaments are the Masters 1000s. And we compete year in and year out with Miami, Indian Wells, Rome, Monte Carlo, Paris. I mean, those are some pretty good, Madrid, Toronto is going on right now, Toronto and Montreal. And Cincinnati is that. And by the way, last year we were named Tournament of the Year amongst all of those.
Yeah.
That's pretty special for the players.
ATP, the WTA, all that stuff, right?
For the first time ever. So did the investment pay off? Yes. On the player side, yes. On the fan side, yes. Staying here in Cincinnati, yes. It's made a huge difference.
Well, in that video that we showed during the Big Bite segment about the indoor, you were showing off the indoor facility, and I can't think of the guy's name, but he said Europe's going to have to compete with this now.
Riley Opelka, yes, that's exactly. Riley and Katie McNally, locally grown. They both were just like, yeah, the Europeans are going to have to step up. Everyone's going to, and that's what we want, and they are. Paris did an amazing job last year, and Rome did an enormous investment this past year. Shanghai continues to invest, and that's great. That's what we want. We want tennis to get bigger and better, and if we can lead the way, we're going to lead the way.
Well, we are leading the way here. The Cincinnati Open starts this coming Saturday. We got to take a break, but when we get back, I'm going to talk more with Bob Moran, the president of BMOC Sports, specifically about what it was like and the reason now that we get to keep this tournament here. A lot of work was done on that front to make sure that happens. More on that when we come back from break. You're watching The Working Lunch on The Crown.
Okay, who are you? Well, you have a First State Bank checking account, so you'll be getting cash back whenever you use it. Oh.
Open a checking account at First State Bank for cash back. First State Bank, built on belief.
How did you get in here?
What is The Crown? It's simple, really. Authentic Cincinnati entertainment. Not hot takes from a studio 3 states away. Not national noise pretending to know this city. Rather, bringing a voice to those who call the Queen City home. Where can I watch The Crown shows? Join us live from 7 to 11 a.m. for First Word and 12 to 1 for the Working Lunch on RESN. No live TV? No problem. Stream and interact with all of our content on major podcast, broadcast, and streaming platforms. The Crown is Cincinnati. Loud, passionate, competitive, proud. From early morning sports debates to the business leaders shaping the riverfront, to the fans, stories, moments, and culture that make this place move. Live shows, podcasts, documentaries, digital content built from Cincinnati, for Cincinnati. This is The Crown.
For me, it's a short period of time that I'll be involved in this event, but I feel a great responsibility to shepherd something that's been here for 125 years and been really, really good at being a world-class event. My responsibility is to make sure that we continue that. And my responsibility is always, how do we continue to elevate that? So for me, I'm going to be in a short window of those, what I'll say is 150 years. I'll be just a little piece of that, but I take great pride and responsibility in what I need to do to keep this event going at the level and beyond the level that it is.
Welcome back to The Working Lunch. I'm Jack Crumley, joined by Bob Moran, the president of BMOC Sports and Entertainment. Bob, that was you, I think, being very humble in terms of your role in things. That's a clip from the Cincinnati's Open docuseries that the Crown produced. I want to talk about the idea of the fact that we still get to call it the Cincinnati Open, that it still is held here. BMOC Sports bought the tournament in 2022, and there were a lot of discussions that there may not be, that it may move someplace else. We got to keep it here. I think everybody's been thrilled that happened. From your perspective, what does that mean, and what was some of the effort about being able to do that?
Yeah, I think the big thing was the investment it was going to take to upgrade the facilities to handle what we talked about earlier, which is going from a 56. So basically tripling the size of the amount of people we had to handle, needing all the more courts, more facilities, everything. So we had to make a decision on that. The city of Charlotte, North Carolina, was very aggressive coming to us, wanting to host a tennis event, and specifically a Masters 1000 is a big deal. So they were really aggressive. They have an unbelievable sports commission in Charlotte that really kind of organized the city, state, and county and that in North Carolina to make a very aggressive offer to us. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, you have to listen when that happens.
Sure.
But it also opened the opportunity for us to have really good discussions with the folks here in Cincinnati. And, I think what this area was lacking was that, like, I would call him a quarterback. And I'll give Dave Young, who was a Warren County commissioner at the time, all the credit in the world, because he kind of stepped in with the city of Mason and Warren County and the state to bring everyone together. And the city of Mason really was just about, they wanted to make it work. They just needed to figure it out. Yeah. And so the city of Mason stepped up, Warren County stepped up, and the state stepped up. And then we had to go, okay, what's this about? And we had to produce a really good event in that first year and let our ownership group know that this community wanted that event here. And that is exactly what happened. So I think the investment dollars were equal. If the investment dollars were equal, we were going to stay, because what this event means to this community was like that, just put it over the edge.
Yeah.
We saw that in year one, the fans coming out, the support that we had. It made all the difference in the world.
I was working in news at the time, and one of my colleagues, Brian Combs, is a big fan of the Open, and he was so over the moon when word got out that it was staying here. I know he was really happy about it. And, you talk about the idea of having a quarterback, somebody that's sort of coordinating the message and, in terms of a point person that works with people on big events. And I think something now that is going to be built on from that is the sports commission that is in existence now, but it's in its early stages in being development. Having that organization be kind of the quarterback, working with Visit Cincy, working with all these different event partners that are in this area to make sure stuff like that stays here.
It's a game changer. You have to have it. And Ben Huffman, who's the new director, really good guy. I've met with him multiple times. Having that quarterback here to bring everybody together, to have one voice, to if it's going and getting the NFL draft or the Major League Baseball All-Star game or any of those things, you have to have a team that's going to be dedicated day in and day out to try and recruit these events, put the packages together to make sure they can happen. Charlotte's really good at it. Indianapolis is really good at it. Cincinnati can be really good at it.
Well, and having a person at the top, a face on it, somebody that can really start coordinating messaging publicly and working with individuals, having relationships built up. This is all normal nuts and bolts kind of business that we talk about on this show all the time.
Absolutely. And so I'm really excited about what's to come in the future.
Bob, did you grow up wanting to be the president of something like BMOC Sports and Entertainment? Is this where you always wanted to end up, or are you just glad to be here?
I'm just glad to be here, for sure. My background's in golf. That's where I grew up. I played my whole life. It's been an important part of my life. Sports has always been a part of my life. I played every sport growing up, all through high school. So for me, being involved in sports was it. Did I ever think it was going to be women's tennis in the beginning? No.
Yeah.
Did I think I'd still be here 26 years later? Absolutely not. But working for the Navarro family has given me a great opportunity to expand what we do. We talked basketball. We've done golf in the past. We're doing tennis every day. So opportunities in sports is something I've always wanted to do. So I'm very blessed to have this opportunity and really excited that this opportunity is in Cincinnati and in Charleston, where I call home.
What is it about your experience with always having been in sports and being involved in, whether you're competing or whether you're involved in it on the more managerial side of things or whatever, what is it about that then sort of influences your decisions on the business side of things?
Yeah, I tell my team all the time, we're in a business that's not easy. It's not easy. We have a lot of customers, be it players, be it fans, be it volunteers, be it partners. And our job being in this business is we have to put everybody else's experience before ours. And that's a very selfless thing, a very selfless business to be. It's not an easy business to be in. We've got to put everyone before us. And we want to make sure that experience is the best it can be. And my job is to build a team that kind of looks after that and make sure that's number one for me. When I talk to a young person, we have tons of interns that are working for us. You've got to be prepared to say, it's not about me right now. This is about everything else. It's about everyone else's experience. And if we're doing that really well, we're going to be successful.
Well, that's especially challenging, when you're maybe trying to teach interns or volunteers or whatever, but it's especially challenging because of all the really specific access that you guys have and being able to, maybe if you're walking down a hallway with somebody like Novak Djokovic, being able to say, hey, could you sign this real quick? But having that mindset of it's not about us, it's about putting things in front of fans, I think carries through as a philosophy all the way around.
Yeah, we have an amazing group of volunteers. We have 1,600 volunteers roughly. That's a lot. It's huge. It's big. And they take this seriously and they care. And just last weekend, we had our volunteer expo, which everyone came, or the weekend before, I'm sorry, but they all come out, get their uniforms, they go through their training. The amount of training they undertake and the time they put in, it's not lost on me. It's not lost on my ownership. And we want to make sure that experience for them is as special as it is our fans. It's really important because they care. Like nobody I've ever met. They care about what this experience is, and I couldn't be more thankful for having a group of volunteers that we have, like we do here at the Cincinnati Open.
It feels like it would be really easy to get caught up in the big name and the business side of things, but the fact that you've put as much emphasis as you have just in this conversation now about putting a focus on younger people and wanting to see kids come out and further their own relationship and experience with tennis itself, it feels like you're really keeping like an ear to the ground, and you've got a really good sort of emotional connection to what this means for the people that you're putting it on for.
No, it does. And when you talk players, on the women's side, like I said, I've been around it for 26 years. I have great relationships with all the women's players. I do, because in Charleston we run an event in April, and we have the same players that are coming here now, and we have to work really hard to get them to come. The men's players, we're still working on that. I am personally developing those relationships and getting to know them. And it's all about relationships in this business. We have to continue to grow that. And so for me, it's exciting to get to know the players on the men's side, and it's great though. The women get mad at me once in a while, and they say, you know, you were ours first. That's okay. But it's that kind of effort that I see across the boards on our team. Not getting caught up in, there goes Novak, or there goes Arena or Iga. Just making sure that we're providing the best experience possible for those players and fans.
I was going to ask you if there's like maybe a little bit about putting on this event, maybe for this year specifically, that would surprise people or something that they didn't already know. But I mean, you dropped that big Serena and Venus news, so I don't know what the heck else there is to get you to tease out. What more are you supposed to do?
I came loaded for bear with you. I did. I was ready. We've been working on that for a while, and so we're really excited about that. You know, Novak just last week, like I said, he doesn't have to come. And the fact that he's choosing to come to Cincinnati is fantastic. And, you know, the other one that's sitting out there right now is Carlos. And we don't know if he's coming or not. He's still on injury. We hope to hear from him. He's out practicing. If it happens, great. And that's just another opportunity for us. But I'm not out there promoting Carlos because I don't know yet.
Sure.
We're very hopeful. We will be extremely thankful if he comes back in Cincinnati. He's the one out there saying it on his own, saying that he targeted Cincinnati for his comeback. If it works, great. If it doesn't, we just hopeful that he gets healthy and we see him next year.
Well, you know, it's nice to have a little bit of mystery when you're promoting an event that's coming up. And so you've still got time to get tickets. The Cincinnati Open is this Saturday, August 8th. Play begins on the Tuesday after, but there's a huge community access weekend going on. Check it out, the Cincinnati Open. Bob Moran of BMOC Sports and Entertainment, really happy to have you on the show. Thanks for everything.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, really great stuff. It's a huge event that's coming up in town, huge economic impact, tons of support, a fan-forward experience. The Cincinnati Open starts soon. We've got to take a break. We got more Working Lunch coming back for you when we get on the other side of this break. Stick around.
Our beliefs matter. They're reflected in our words and actions. At First State Bank, we believe in treating people well, and have since 1884. Listening, caring, looking out for each other. It's what people deserve. It's what a real local bank does. While lots of things have changed over the years, our belief in you hasn't. First State Bank, built on belief.
This is the Rebound Rundown. I'm your host, Paul Fritchner. Your home for college basketball in the Cincinnati area and across the country every Monday through Friday during the season. Previews, recaps, breakdowns, interviews, and more. You can find it all right here. Your one-stop shop for a quick dose of college hoops on your morning commute. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, my name is Natalie Jones, a Cincinnati native, and I have been in media for about 10 years now. Formerly on the radio here in Cincinnati, I grew my love and obsession with finding all things fun in Cincinnati and have now made it my life. I'm originally from the West Side here, and then I've pretty much been a downtown girl ever since college. But I did leave for 7 years, and during that time, I really grew and harnessed and cut my teeth doing stand-up comedy in Los Angeles, learning how to ski in Colorado, and now I'm back here in Cincinnati, driven by curiosity and grounded by family.
Welcome back to the Working Lunch. I'm Jack Crumley. We are wrapping things up here on this Monday show, but it is Monday, so we do like to go over a little bit of box office numbers. And if there is one thing that apparently people really like, it's moving pictures of Spider-Man. Pictures of Spider-Man, a spectacular box office for Spider-Man Brand New Day over the weekend. The fourth Spider-Man movie that's being produced in a shared capacity between Sony and Marvel. Sony has the movie rights to Spider-Man in a deal going back a number of years now, and we just got the news moments ago. Spider-Man Brand New Day did way great. It did $360 million, the biggest ever opening weekend. It beats out Avengers Endgame now as far as having the best opening weekend ever. And that Avengers Endgame movie made a bunch of money after a decade worth of hype. So huge numbers for Spider-Man Brand New Day. You know, there is a story that's in a book. There's a book called Comic Wars by a writer named Dan Raviv. And it's about Marvel Comics going bankrupt back in the 90s. And you had all of these investors and bankers that were trying to get money. Marvel was in debt up to its eyeballs. And Avi Arad, who was a toy executive who was involved with Marvel, there's a great part in that book where he gives a speech to all these bankers, trying to encourage them, hey, let us do our thing. He said, Spider-Man alone is $1 billion property. And of course, now in the subsequent years, we've seen all the money that Marvel is able to make with movies. They still have a publishing arm. There's animated stuff. Obviously, the licensing is huge. All the kids that wear Spider-Man t-shirts. So a huge amount of money for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Really big stuff. It's actually now going to be going to IMAX starting on Thursday the 6th. That is when the Odyssey doesn't have its exclusive on IMAX screens anymore. The Odyssey did another $51 million opening weekend, contributing to $911 million worldwide. It's on the verge of making $1 billion. Universal now the first studio to hit $4 billion box office year to date. There's other studios working their way up. We're looking at a monster box office total for things this year in Hollywood. They're very excited about it. We're still in the summer blockbuster season. Don't have any huge releases coming out this weekend. Super Troopers 3, one night only, is coming out this weekend. Eli Roth has a horror movie called Ice Cream Man. We'll see how that does, but it's going to be all about Spider-Man and the Odyssey again probably this coming weekend. Hey, that's our show. Big thank you to Bob Moran of BMOC Sports and Entertainment. The Cincinnati Open is starting this weekend. Very excited about it. It's a huge tourist event here in town, and we'll have more on that as the days go on. We got to go. Thanks for watching The Working Lunch. We're back tomorrow at noon.